Hey guys, okay. There's a really interesting pattern. It's not exactly a giant revelation. It's really kind of how basically how all of this theta stuff and generally kind of working through your stuff where whether you're using theta or not, how it works. But the same pattern keeps on coming up that is coming up in some of my clients and I've done a lot in my life and through working through my own stuff is this idea that what'll happen is people will come and they'll do sessions with me and we'll clear lots and lots of amazing stuff. This is what's happening and I don't like it and it's horrible and blah 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 blah. And we go through the whole process and we find stuff and we find reasons why they're creating it and stuff like that. And some amazing stuff happens and people's lives certainly begin to change and they begin to feel differently about things, but they keep coming back with the same story. Um, and it's like they keep recreating it, or they're experiencing it not changing. Sometimes this is why some of the people that have left Theta Healing say, "Oh, Theta Healing doesn't work." No, it works fine. Um, Here's what happens: when I got divorced from the ex, both of us worked really hard to make sure and take care of our side of the emotional street, to make sure that when we decided to split up, it was respectful and loving and supportive, and we both worked really hard in that. And as a result, thank God, we both get to continue to be friends and friendly. When I visit the Palm Springs area, I always get to go and have a cup of coffee with the ex, and we have a very nice time, and it's great. And that's because we both worked really hard on our stuff, taking responsibility for our own emotional conditions and being willing to look into the excuse me into the darker side of the stuff. So both of us worked really hard in clearing up and doing the right thing. Even so, about a year more or less after we split up and I left, I went back to Los Angeles and to do a class or visit some people or something. And on the Saturday morning, I was going to go down to the martial arts gym that I used to work out at, that I love, 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 and have a great morning and go and do all that cool stuff. It was fun. On the way there, I stopped off at the house that I used to live at with my ex, and she was having a garage sale because she was going to move out of that area to the desert. And the guy that she had hired for the sale to help her with the heavy lifting and stuff never showed. And so what I ended up doing is I ended up not going to the gym, but staying there and helping for like 3 hours or something, doing the heavy lifting and the grunt work and whatever else that she needed because this other guy didn't show up. Um, and yeah, that was probably the right thing to do and everything. But what happened was my little brain and my little narcissism and paranoia and whatever other issues that I have or haven't resolved or hadn't resolved, at least at that time, started kicking in, and part of me started getting resentful about having to give up going and doing the thing I really love to do. um, no one put a gun to my head. I could have gone out and found somebody else for her or something because she was in the middle of selling stuff, but this is what I chose to do. The next day I'm about to leave and I meet one of my other friends for coffee, and I start complaining to my friend, because this is a sympathetic person, it's somebody that I trust. Excuse me. And this is what happened, and I had to give up, and blah, blah, me, blah, blah, blah. And it was a kind of a situation that I had created throughout the marriage, where I believed I had to give something up, and I was bitching and moaning to my friend. And my friend, who was truly a good friend, said, "You know what, Steve? Shut the hell up. I am sick and tired of hearing that freaking story over and over and over again. I don't want to hear it anymore. Deal with it, but don't tell me about it anymore. And here's what she said, and I believe these are pretty much the precise words. You take some kind of a perverse pleasure from bitching and moaning about this kind of thing over and over and over again. You've never stopped doing it ever since I've known you. I'm done. No more." And thank God she did that, because I realized, oh my God, she's absolutely right. This thing that I love to talk about and complain about, the story, the details aren't important. It's not about that. It's about I got to feel a certain way when I got to bitch and moan and complain. There was some deeper reason why I kept on telling the same story over and over again. And I find that with clients as well, where they'll come to me and they'll say the same story over and over again, and they're not. We've been doing amazing work, but it's the same thing. And what I've started doing, and I'm still finding my way, but what's being really helpful is forgetting about the details of the story. The story itself doesn't matter. In fact, even the emotions that they're feeling, the frustration or the sadness, the crying, even though it's valid and true, that's not the important thing. That's just a symptom. It's like they're addicted to feeling the feelings, the negative feelings they feel when they tell the story over and over and over again. They're addicted to recreating the situation. So, excuse me, what I'm doing is I'm doing this little process, or this specific process about clearing addictions like that, but also ignoring the details of the story and trying to get to the real reason, the real payoff, the deepest payoff of why they won't let go of this little drama that they've done. And again, this is, on one level, this is basic theory about how this stuff works, but on some other level, it's like really important, and it's really important to start ignoring the story. Yes, they feel bad, and ignoring even the emotions, and getting to the real bottom, the real payoff. You know what one of my payoffs was? I got to feel superior, and I got to feel noble when I would tell these stories, because some part of me felt completely the opposite. And once I got to the bottom of that and cleared that, then I stopped telling the story, and I started being free to see the deeper truths, the cool stuff about people and myself and the ex-wife and everything in a different way, because I didn't have to see things and complain about things in a way that would make me feel better about myself. So, if you would like to do some work around that you're willing to, you can tell the story. If you want to do some work around that, give me a call, send me an email. I'll put the information down here or on the screen somewhere or whatever. We'll do some sessions. I'll suggest that you do a group of sessions, 3 or 5 sessions, and you can get a package price for sessions instead of paying a higher price for a single session. But let's get to the real bottom of why you're really doing that. What is the real payoff for you experiencing what you're experiencing and telling your story over and over again, with all of the drama and the emotions and the pain and the suffering and the blah blah blah? Are you tired of hearing yourself do that and experiencing that? Let's deal with it. It's really cool stuff. So, and let's free ourselves from having to recreate the crap we keep on recreating over and over again, because every single time we are the source of why we experience the world and how we experience the world. And if anybody tells you different, they're either lying to themselves or they're lying to you. And if they're lying to themselves, they don't want to see parts of themselves. Some of the people that left Theta Healing, that might be part of the reason why they left, because they refused to look at the deeper stuff, and they wouldn't take the blame and take responsibility for their own life. They had to blame something out of themselves, whether it was Theta Healing or hypnotherapy or their mom or whatever. So let's play. All right, talk to you soon.